Hello and welcome to Sam's Stories. Today I'll be reading part 1 of The Kites Are Flying by Morpurgo. 1st May 2008, nearly midnight, gruesome hotel, Jerusalem Airport. Wish I wasn't here. Sometimes I really do wonder why I write a diary at all. It's useful enough, I suppose, when I'm actually filming. Helps me to remember details I might forget, the sequence of events and so on. But on nights like this, I know I'm just doing it out of habit. I've written in my diary every day since I can remember. I can see the point of it after the truly memorable days. But then I would probably remember those anyway. The truth is that there have been so many days I just want to forget. Days like today. Traffic jams all the way to the airport, late arriving, ages checking in, plane delayed. Anyway, so I needn't have expended all that fury and frustration. Can't those security people at least try to smile while they're rifling through your bag? I mean, what's their problem? Then we had to fly into the most violent turbulence I've ever known. I should be used to it by now. I do enough flying. But this time, I really did think my number was up. Some of the lockers flew open, and the lady next to me started saying her prayers. We didn't land at Jerusalem, we bumped. Bumpety, bumpety, bump. It was as if the pilot was reverting to his childhood. The plane was a stone, he was skimming across a lake. On and on it went, and we were inside it. Then there were more unsmiling security people. Late into this ghastly airport hotel, where I know I'm not going to sleep. The sheets and towels stink of chemicals. The only air I can breathe is noisy because I can't switch off the air conditioning. When I phoned home for a bit of comfort, Penny said everything was fine. She sounded a bit sleepy, but she said I hadn't woken her up. Jamie had been a bit hyper apparently when he came home from school, but he was fast asleep now. She'd read him his King Arthur book again. She'd told me that Jamie said I read it better than she did. She was a bit miffed about that, but I wasn't. It made me smile. Probably my first smile all day. Makes a fellow feel better to smile. Penny told me she missed me, that she wished I could be at home. And then we wouldn't have to be phoning each other in the middle of the night. Max, do you realise what time it is? She said. She wasn't cross exactly, but I could tell she didn't want to talk much after that. I felt very alone after she put the phone down. Still do. Mustn't get gloomy. Got to sleep. Can't be gloomy if you're asleep. Early start tomorrow. Must find out about the buses first thing. The food on the plane was disgusting. I only ate it because it was there, which was pretty stupid, and now I've got bellyache. Hey, Mahmoud, are you there? Are you there? Can you hear me? I had my beautiful dream again last night. The same dream about the kites. Uncle Yasser says it is a foolish dream, but it isn't foolish, is it, Mahmoud? You're always telling me not to listen to old Uncle Gasbag. It's your dream, that's what you say. You dream what you want to dream, little brother. I like it when you call me little brother. You know something? You're not only my big brother, you're my best friend. Hey, I saw that girl again, the one in the blue headscarf. She was there again today, waving to me, and she was in my dream too. She was waving to me then as well. She does it every time. Mahmoud, are you listening? I'm afraid to close my eyes in case I have that nightmare again. You told me the nightmares will go away when the dream comes true. What was it you said? You only dream the beautiful dream, little brother, because of the nightmare. It's like day follows night. You can't have the one without the other. Light is only light, you said. When you've seen how dark the dark is. I still don't understand that, Mahmoud. There's a lot you tell me I don't really understand. But I don't mind. I like it when you talk to me. I like it so much. Will you fly my kite with me tomorrow? Will you be there under the kite tree? It's the same every time I have to go to bed. I want to go on talking to you all night long, Mahmoud. I suppose I shouldn't talk to you as much as I do. You must get fed up with me. But there's no one else I can talk to. No one else I want to talk to either. No one else who knows. No one else who was there. You are my big brother, 12 years old. That's 4 years older than me, and I tell you everything. I'm always thinking about you, even when I'm not talking to you. I'm so proud of you, the fastest runner in the whole village. But you're more than just my big brother. You've been the father of the family too, since father was taken away by the occupiers and put in a prison camp back when I was little. We haven't seen him since. So you have had to help out on the farm with Uncle Yasser, Uncle Gasbag. Everything you ever planted grows well. Uncle Yasser says it's your green fingers, broad beans, aubergines, sunflowers, olives, lemons. They all grow. But you have always liked the sheep best of all, sitting on the hillside all day long looking after the sheep. You know all of them, and they know you. They love you, and they trust you. It's like you're their big brother too. I like being out there with you and the sheep, Mahmoud. I like feeling the warm wind on my face and smelling the wild thyme. We lie there watching the hawks hovering on the wind. We talk, we laugh, we dream. You are a dreamer too, like me. I think we even dream the same dreams. But we don't lie out there on the hillside just dreaming. We make our kites and we fly them. When I hold the spool and let out the string, you race out over the hillside, whooping and yelling as the kite catches the wind. Then it's up there and flying high. You make the kite swoop and soar again and again. Sometimes it crashes into a tree or dives into the hillside. You are always angry with yourself then and won't speak to me. But after a while, when you've calmed down, I tell you that maybe we should just mend it or make another one, and we do. Each one we make is better than before, different, bigger, smaller, with a longer tail maybe, or a shorter one. They're all painted different colours too. Some like birds, some like butterflies, some even like fish. On summer evenings, the whole village comes out to watch us. They stand there, gazing up into the sky and loving our kites as much as we do. It's the only time we can forget all our troubles and sadnesses and just be happy again for a while anyway. You remember that afternoon, Mahmoud, when I asked you why kites seem to make everyone so happy, why people laugh out loud when they see them soaring up there in the sky? I remember every word you told me, Mahmoud, as if it was yesterday. But it wasn't yesterday. It was 2 years ago next week. Every time I fly a kite, little brother, I'm thinking it's me up there, and that I'm far away from all this down here, far away from the soldiers and the checkpoints and the tanks. Up there I'm out of it. I go wherever the wind takes me and no one can stop me. No soldiers, no checkpoints, no tanks, you said. And then you were angry, Mahmoud. Whenever you talked about the occupiers, you always got angry. And that time you cried because you were so angry. Why do they keep father in prison, Saeed? You asked me. Tell me that. Why do they come here and take our lands? Why do they treat us like donkey muck? Why can't they just go home and leave us in peace? Then you told me about the soldier. I want to tell you something, Saeed, you said. It happened yesterday. I can't stop thinking about it. I saw this soldier. He was down at the checkpoint, and I was coming across the road driving the sheep. He was looking straight down the barrel of his rifle into my eyes. Then I saw his face under the helmet. I couldn't believe it. He didn't look any older than me. I'm thinking, you're someone's son too. I'm thinking, one day you're going to kill me maybe, and you won't even know why you're doing it. Do you know what I did then? I smiled at him. I didn't want to look frightened, so I smiled at him, just to show him. He smiled back. I promise you he did, even gave me a wink. So then I'm thinking that they can't all be bad, these occupiers. There's the girl in the blue headscarf, who waves to me over the wall sometimes. And this soldier, that's two. So if they're not all bad, and we're not all bad, why can't the good ones on both sides just get together and sort it all out? Then the soldiers could all go home, and father could be let out of prison and come home to us, and everything would be right again. There were tears running down your cheeks, and I remember you brushed them away with the back of your hand. I miss Father Saeed, you said. Sometimes I miss him so much that it hurts. You know the honest truth, Mahmoud? I hardly remember father. He's been gone so long. I know him mostly from those photos mother shows me. but I don't like looking at them because Mother always cries when she talks about him and I hate it. When she cries, it's like my whole head is filling up with tears, like it's bursting with sadness. I like it much better when you tell me about Father, because you've told me so many funny stories about him. I love it when I'm sitting under the kite tree and thinking about the things you told me about him. How Father taught you everything you know, how to make kites, how to plant broad beans, how to whistle the sheep in, how to play football. I remember I told you once you were rubbish at football, and you wrestled me onto my back and sat on top of me, threatening to tickle me to death unless I took it back. So I took it back. Anyway, little brother, do you think anyone at Barcelona or Manchester United makes better kites than me? That's what you said. Then you tickled me half to death, and we rolled over and over, screeching and giggling. We looked up, and there were all the sheep staring at us, as if we were completely mad, which made us laugh all the more. We laugh a lot, don't we, Mahmoud? I love to hear you laugh. Mahmoud? Are you there? I was thinking about you again this afternoon. Under the kite tree. It's a good place for thinking. But I talk to you best when I'm in bed at night, don't I? I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's more secret. But the kite tree is my favourite place in the whole world. I love that old tree. Uncle Gaspag says it's the oldest tree on the hillside, at least 10 grandfathers old. That's why it's all twisted and crooked, just like he is. It's the best shade on the whole farm, so the sheep love it too. We put a lot of kites together under that tree, haven't we? It's our kite tree, yours and mine, Mahmoud. That's why it's the place I most love to be, because you're always there. And that's where I was this afternoon, when I first saw him. I could see someone walking along the road down in the valley. He'd just got off the bus. I knew right away he wasn't one of us. None of us would wear a hat like that. And I knew he wasn't an occupier from the settlement on the other side of the wall. They don't wear hats like that either. He kept stopping every now and again to look around him, as if it was all new to him, as if he was a stranger. Then he saw me, saw the sheep and the kite tree. He turned off the road and began climbing up the hillside towards me. He had a rucksack on his back and that silly hat on his head, and he had some kind of equipment slung over his shoulder, and I'm thinking he's one of those television reporters. That's what he is. We see them coming through the village often enough, don't we? But usually they're in Land Rovers, and usually there's lots of them. But this one was alone and on foot, and I thought, I don't want him to come any closer. He's going to disturb the sheep. I know he is. They're already getting up and moving away. They don't like strangers any more than I do. Best to stay where I am and ignore him. I'll get on with my kite and hope he'll just go away. But then I thought that maybe before he goes away, I might get some chocolate off him. Television people are always fair game for chocolate, and sometimes dollars too, if you're lucky. I know how it works. If you want to get lucky with these reporter guys, then you have to smile at them. And do it as if you mean it. You have to call them Mr. too. You told me that, Mahmoud, remember? I can't call him Mr., but I can look up at him and smile. When I did, I saw he was just a few steps away from me, taking off his silly hat and wiping his brow with the back of his hand. He was all puffed out from the climb. He took off his rucksack and put all of his equipment down on the ground beside me. I'm telling you, Mahmoud, he's got the coolest camera I've ever seen in all my life. I didn't want chocolates anymore. I didn't even want dollars. I just wanted to hold that camera. I wanted to make a movie with it. I love movies. You love movies too, don't you? E.T., Shrek. I like Shrek 2 best. The donkey. I love that donkey. Are you there, Mahmoud? Are you there? Thank you for listening.